Are there people's names in your life that you treasure? Most people love to hear their names. The same name could be spoken with love or anger, respect or contempt. There was a family that lived next door to me while I was growing up, and the husband's name was somewhat feminine. And I'm sure that he was teased while he was growing up. And he told me one day he knew he was going to marry the woman that he was going to marry based on the way that she said his name, with such love and caring. So most names don't stay neutral. Over time, they gather character or images. If I said the phrase, "Let's go, Brandon," does something come to mind? Or "She's a Karen"? Maybe you already have a picture of who that person is. What if I said Rolex or Mercedes, Lexus? You think of quality, something built to last. Names gather reputation. Over time, they gather character. And I think of people in my life that have meant something to me and their names. I think of one guy that spent at least a year visiting a friend that is in prison, and he would visit him every single week. His name carries a name of sacrifice and service and loyalty to that friend. I think of another friend and his name, working 16 to 20 hours sometimes during tax season to take care of his clients, and also the kids that he had at the time were all adopted, making terrible choices, and he never lost faith in the Lord and they would change their course in life. His name carries faith and patience and kindness that they would eventually change course. Sometimes a name isn't enough to capture the depth of a person. It's like taking a picture of a mountain. The photo's very flat, two-dimensional. It doesn't compare to standing there and hearing the birds and feeling the wind and the silence. A picture is a poor representation of reality, and the same is true with the name. And then there's the name of Jesus. How do you fit that character, the character of God, into one name? The scriptures have given him many names because one isn't enough. He stands for truth and righteousness and justice, obedience and love. He represents the very best man can become. But here is the question. Most of his followers, all of his followers, are called to take upon his name. What does that mean? If you take on his name, you're taking on his character. You're doing what he would do, choosing what he would choose in all places and in all times. Attending a church doesn't save you. Only becoming like him does. Because in the end, God won't know you by what you claimed, but by the name you carried in life.